Everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how I find the best deals possible. So this is for both online as well as in-person shopping. So I believe this will apply to not only graded cards but also singles as well as sealed product. As an example, I bought this card recently for 1.275k and the market value is around 1.9. Similarly, for this card, I got around a 30% discount just by using some of these methods that I'm about to explain when buying on eBay. I purchased sealed products in the past for, quite a bit below market. And so hopefully these tips are helpful. Please let me know if I'm missing anything. So let's get started. First tip I wanted to share is utilizing eBay saved searches. So here on the eBay homepage, you can click into your saved searches. And here is basically all the sort of search terms that I look for. So I collect level X Pokemon cards, gold stars, and a lot of the middle era stuff. So this is useful because a lot of times you can see your sort of more recent listings that come up. And what I like to do is, let's say I'm interested in level X PSA 9 cards. What I can do is sort by the newest listing and then have this search saved. So if I click this, what this also allows me to do is I can turn on email notifications. So whenever a new item comes up onto the market, I'll be one of the first ones to see it. Essentially, these bigger card shops, they might have listed their items a lot under market, or some of them just kind of don't care, I feel like they just want to get rid of an item. So they list it for quite a bit below market, or they don't even look at, last sold. This method allows you to actually get a lot of the good deals before anyone else sees it, especially if you turn on email notifications for more niche items. That allows you to sort of get notified right away, whereas I can show you guys on the mobile how this works. If there is a new item, you'll see this blue dot on the mobile phone indicating that there is a new listing. So I do like to check this quite often, especially during my downtime. I'll just take a quick look to see, what are the newest items that are listed that I'm interested in. It's not just all the Pokemon cards, it's a specific niche of Pokemon cards, or you can even search for a specific Pokemon card. So here, let's say another example. Let's go with a Charizard SV49 PSA 9. Let's just, change it up a little bit. So here, these are all the listings. So what I can do is, again, go to newly listed and then save this search. So then, whenever there's a new Charizard SV49, so something quite specific that comes up, I'll be kind of notified, or I'll be able to see it on the top of my feed. Again, sometimes people just like to low list to get rid of it quickly. And then if you happen to be the one looking for it, that's, super useful. Or if an item just never comes up, and you suddenly get a notification, maybe you can quickly pick it up before other people that also want that item picks it up, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think this is a pretty powerful strategy. I do enjoy using this method, and sometimes if you just want to have a wide net and just see what's available, what I also do is since I collect a lot of PSA 9 cards, what I do is I have these search terms like this, just Pokemon PSA 9. And then I have the minus Japanese because I just want to see the English cards. So this basically gets rid of any listings that are basically in Japanese, that have Japanese in the title. So again, here I'm able to see the newly listed items. So sometimes, people have a very low listing. And remember, actually, most importantly, you should have buy it now clicked for this method. Since, you are trying to be the first one to pick it up and see it. The item needs to be a buy now. If it's an auction, you're not able to purchase it, obviously. And I feel like there's not that much of a point in doing it this way, because if it is an auction, it's gonna sort of have a lot more time for people to take a look at it, and then it's not really worth it. So I think buy it now is the fastest way to pick something up, especially when it's just listed, and you're able to be one of the first ones to see the listing. What they say, right? Like early bird gets the worm. That's sort of like how this works. So my second strategy that I use is kind of opposite to the first one, but it's for auctions. So like I said before, if you look for auctions that are about to end, sometimes if they're underlooked or if there's not that many eyes on it, you might be able to pick it up for a good price. Let's say I'm in the market again for maybe like, let's say a Mewtwo PSA 10. So what you can do here now is click an auction and then sort by the ending soonest. So here you'll see a lot of listings that are about to end. So you can judge for yourself whether the price is, a good price currently. And sometimes, especially if these auctions are ending at weird times, like I like to check at 2 a.m. sometimes. I'll see if there's any auctions ending at an obscure time. You might be able to pick it up for a really good price just because not that many people are checking eBay at that time, or not that many people put bids in. So I feel like utilizing this feature, and this is sort of like snipe bidding, right? Just seeing which auctions are about to end and seeing if you can place a bid in here right before it ends. So for this, I also like to do very generic terms. So if I collect a lot of PSA 9 cards, I cast a wide net like this, ending soonest. So a lot of these are ending within a few minutes. So, a lot of them might have no bids and there might be a really good price there. So what I like to do is then, since these are about to end, I'll just kind of see any cards that I'm interested in, set a phone timer so I remember that the listing is about to end, and then, place a bid in and see if I pick it up or not. So this is nice just because, especially if the card is, maybe just more niche, so not that many people are looking at it, or maybe like this listing could be a really good deal just because there's a lot of cards here, and I feel like you could pick up a good deal that way, just by sort of sporadically checking what's ending soonest. Because these auctions are really dependent on who else is looking at it. If a listing just doesn't have that many people looking at it, or if the interest is just not there, usually there's a good chance for you to get a good deal. So definitely recommend this method as well, along with the first tip that I shared. So my third tip to prevent you from overpaying is actually looking for listings that are actually a good deal. So instead of just going through eBay last solds, so let's say let's look again for a specific card here. This is really advantageous if you're sort of trying to browse a more common card that is sold often. So what I mean is, beside the sort of really upper tier trophy cards, for most set cards and for most collectors, this would be a very good method. So if again, if we're just interested in a PSA 9 Charizard SP49, so a very specific card. So here we can see a bunch of listings that are sold. Here, this is what I really don't like about eBay. I can't see the sold price for these cards. Like, you see these ones with the best offer accepted. So it's pretty common to have an offer setting on eBay listings, and you can shoot the seller an offer, but eBay doesn't show you the actual price that it sold for, which is kind of annoying. So what I like to do here is I'll copy paste whatever I'm trying to search, and then go to a website called 130point.com. So here, what I can do is go into this setting and then just input whatever I'm looking for. And the nice thing about this is this website will pull listings from all the different websites, not even just eBay. You can get listings from, you see, PWCC, so other auction houses. So PWCC, Heritage, Golden Auctions. Yeah, it seems like this card sells on eBay quite often, but if there were any more sort of other auction sites, you'll be able to see it as well. And what's really nice about this is, notice this, you can actually see the exact sale price that it was sold for here as well. Unlike eBay, where it just shows you the price that was sort of listed for, here on this website, you're actually able to see the exact price that the buyer actually paid. So I think it reflects the market better. It's a more accurate representation of the true value of the card, because that's the actual transaction that happened, right? Not just the listing price. So definitely using websites such as this is really helpful to prevent you from overpaying, just because you can not only see the true price of a card, but you can also see from other sources. Look at all these other auction sites that sell Pokemon cards. So these are other sites that also, that I think we should also consider the price that it goes for, so we can make a better call whether a listing is actually a good deal or not. So while we're here, I thought I might as well add a bonus tip. So instead of just buying off eBay, try the other auction sites like Golden, Heritage, PWCC. I personally tried PWCC quite a few times, and I was able to find deals that you don't really see on eBay. Especially sometimes when there's a newer auction site, there's really not that many people looking on that site, which allows you again to pick up a better priced item. So I think for some higher end items, let's say gold stars, for example, PSA 10s, or maybe trophy cards, something that's a bit more expensive, you'll likely see more listings on PWCC or other auction sites. Typically people like to use these consignor services so they don't have to sell the cards themselves. So here you can see that there's a bunch of different listings that were sold on platforms that's not eBay. In summary, I think it is worthwhile checking out other auction sites just because I think majority of buyers are on eBay. So if majority of the buyers are competing with you on an auction, the prices are likely going to go higher. So if you're able to find some items that are maybe not so looked for on those other auction sites, yeah, it might be worth just throwing in a bid. And you never know, sometimes your low bid will win. There are times when I won like a $11 or $12 bid for a graded card. So that's that's less than the grading fee on some of those cards. So dedicate some time if you just browse through those auctions on those like lesser known platforms than eBay. Just toss in a bid on super low items, low price items. You never know, you might be able to win the auction for a really good price. I do think it's worth checking out, just because I think us as buyers, we should try to not just buy on one platform. We should try to be flexible and purchase from multiple places. Yeah, I hope that kind of makes sense. Buying from more places allows us to sort of shop around and see if we can truly find a good deal. So the last tip is to actually go into card shows rather than always buying online. Try different avenues of buying. So I think some of the coolest deals I got, like for example this one, Dark Machamp, I got it for quite a bit below market value. Similarly with these two, I did get a pretty good deal from a vendor at one of my local card shows. So the nice thing about this is you can be in person to inspect the condition. You don't have to worry about shipping costs, insurance, and I think this is especially important if you're picking up raw cards. So this is actually cards that I picked up yesterday from my local card show. So these are actually all really minty cards. And I bought, I think, a lot of these for very cheap. So I think these holos were around $5 to $10 a piece Canadian. So these are very minty cards though. So I think they'll grade at least the PSA 9. And, I got a pretty big discount on this card as well. Similarly with these older EX cards as well, along with these Diamond and Pearl holos, black and white. And, these cool Arceus cards, I think it was like less than $20 for this card in a super minty condition, which I thought was a good deal. And then I think this was pretty cheap as well in the end. And yeah, so I guess like going to card shows, you can really inspect the condition of this before you purchase it. I think especially for raw cards, if you want good quality raw cards that the exact condition of, you should try to go to these events in person, or instead of always buying on eBay, if you visit more in person, like LGS's, your local game stores or card shows, you're able to actually take a close look at the condition. So what I actually do is I do like to actually take the cards out of the sleeve before I purchase it to make sure that they're actually clean. And you can see that these ones are pretty clean, I would say. Fairly minty card. I would say this is probably pack fresh. And yeah, and I was pretty fortunate enough to get some good deals. So I think anybody can do this, obviously. It's not just me. So I think although it might be a little bit more time consuming to actually go to an event, I think you'll make a lot of great connections, maybe friends. You never know, because I think this is a hobby where it's super dynamic. You should make connections, meet new people, and in return, sometimes you might be able to get a good deal, or they might help you acquire a card that you're looking for. So I think this hobby is great in that way, and going into in-person events is also a really good way to score some nice deals. And plus the sellers won't have that much selling fees because, you know, you're doing an in-person transaction. So eBay won't have to take a cut, nor do any of the other sort of auction websites. I hope this was helpful, guys. Please let me know what you guys think. If I missed anything, I'm sure I did. You know, I'm just trying to be transparent in how I purchase things for my own collection, how to make my dollar stretch. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy this, please leave a like on this video, subscribe if you want to, and yeah, feel free to use my affiliate links in the description below. Those lead to websites that I constantly use and trust. And yeah, have a good one, guys. Peace out.